Now, just over 13% of the African population uses Apple iPhone devices. And just over a month ago, the American multi-technology group announced a partnership with OpenAI, bringing artificial intelligence to its operating system. What is the likely impact of this partnership on the continent, given that most Africans still use Android devices? Sarah Slabbert, who's a consulting analyst for Frost Sulivan, joins us to weigh in. Sarah, thank you for your time today, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So maybe we can start off by reflecting here on, just the partnership between Apple and OpenAI, and what that could mean, why it is so groundbreaking.
Sure, 100%. So the partnership was announced at Apple's WWDC event, which is the Worldwide Developers Conference, and it is a groundbreaking outsourcing of artificial intelligence technology. So the plan is to implement ChatGPT and other OpenAI tools into the operating systems of Apple, starting from the iPhone 15 Pro and later models. So I think it's yet to be seen the impact it's going to have worldwide, let alone in Africa, but it really is an exciting turn of events in the smartphone world.
What I thought was also interesting here is Apple, of course, a big company, one of the biggest in the world, didn't opt to go and develop its kind of own AI, generative AI tool here. They decided to go with a partnership. I'm keen to get your thoughts on that development.
Yeah, I think they really are choosing their strengths, and because OpenAI is so focused on ChatGPT and has done a lot of work in developing the model, it's a really smart move on Apple's part. Comparatively for Android, some phones in their Samsung and Google ranges are using Google AI, which is obviously in-house developed. So for Apple to outsource and go with OpenAI is a bold move.
And let's talk about what this now means for Androids. We do know that more people on the African continent actually use Android, and that's really because of the accessibility there in terms of pricing.
100%. There's a much more diverse product range that run Android operating systems as opposed to Apple. And like you said, they're so much more affordable. They're readily accessible to a much larger proportion of the population. So in 2023, across the African continent, only 13.3% of the market was Apple dominated. 86% is Android dominated. So the impact of OpenAI use is a minority, but could expand in future.
I also want to speak about this and what it might mean for, if it may actually at all have any impact on issues of development on the continent. These smartphones, and then of course smartphones with, some sort of AI tool embedded in them.
I think that the way that the world is moving and the aggressive growth of artificial intelligence and its use in business, I think that it's going to have a revolutionary impact. That is much more readily seen in the Northern Hemisphere as it is in Africa. But I think that it's going to be a slow burn development. I think we're definitely going to see an uptake, and I think it's going to have huge impacts on how people run businesses and how communication takes place.
Then, of course, the issue we're all watching out for here, ethics and privacy. Of course, our phones are closer to us than, any other device, a laptop, an iPad, for instance. And what we are seeing here is that with AI embedded there and with this big partnership, there might be some information sharing. It's very hard for people like you and me, Sarah, to keep stock of what we might be agreeing to here, especially from an ethical perspective.
100%. So Apple has addressed those concerns quite openly, and they've said that there are security measures in place working on a secure cloud, and each user will be asked permission before ChatGPT is involved in information location or using of the natural language model. So in terms of ethics and privacy, there are tools in place to ensure that people are informed and are not freely giving away their information. But the infancy of artificial intelligence as a whole means that we'll never know we can't know the extent until things have developed further.
Well, that does tell us exactly what to expect a little bit there, Sarah. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure hearing from you today. That was Sarah Slabbert. She's consulting analyst for Frost & Sullivan.